today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that too. Forever in our hearts, yet you left so soon. These words don't even express how much we're missing you. We thought of you today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that too.
It was good, fam.
Forever in our hearts, yet you left so soon. These words don't even express how much we're missing you. So many long days wake me from this bad dream, a living nightmare that makes me wanna scream. One day I hope these foggy skies will become clear. Still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that you're not here. It hurts me to my core that you'll never hold my son. He'll never get to see or hear his grandpa having fun. I'll never get the chance to see you hold my baby girl. Your death reminds me that we still live in a cruel world. You cried in my arms when we lost Annalie. Tears pouring down my melanin since 2017. My hero's biggest dream was left incomplete. Seeing the motherland for us is still priority. You serve this country proud from here to Germany. We won't stop until we make your dream reality. Out in the misty storm, I gotta push through. I cannot even put in words how much I'm missing you. We thought of you today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that too. Forever in our hearts, yet you left so soon. These words don't even express how much we're missing you.
One day we're here, later hours we were gone. No preparation, no warning, take away my Lord, the storm. The tears won't stop falling on my pillow from the memories. Missing you, all the joy we shared, the fun times we had.
Hey, what's up, Mo?
The good, the bad, and the ugly, cherishing all we had. Even when I strayed from the path, I was a journey, rocky roads, high mountains, why we had to travel, climb through the trials and tribulations. I remember to smile and be patient. Right now I'm missing you. Got me so sad, crying, trying not to lose you. Lord knows the rivers flow out the windows of my soul. Yeah, I know I'm a cry, baby. It's tragic how I need you. Won't you here with me, standing next to me, proud of me, finally fulfilling the dream from the teachers of trust, truth, love like a loyalty. You've been gone, it seems so surreal. Nobody knows how I feel. Gone, but never forgot it. Born silent tears.
We thought of you today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that too. Forever in our hearts, yet you left so soon. These words don't even express how much we're missing you. We thought of you today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that too. Forever in our hearts, yet you left so soon. These words don't even express how much we're missing you. So many long days.
Hey champions, welcome to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. I wanted to start the podcast different tonight because today is a very important day in my life. For those that don't know, today is March 28th, and today is my late father's birthday. My father would have been 66 today, but he passed away a little bit over 13 months ago. And for those that hopped on when I first started the podcast, the song that was playing was one of the songs, an original song recorded by myself and my brother Jamal, and it was entitled Missing You. And that's how, we feel. I mean, it's been over 13 months since he died suddenly, but, we're going to continue to honor his legacy. And, when I wake up, whenever I come to my office here in St. Louis and I shoot a video or do this podcast, I always look at these photos. My mom, my dad holding me and my brothers Jamal and Terrence. And that's really what it's about for me, because family is everything to me. And that's why I'm grinding as hard as I'm grinding. And that's why I'm determined to be successful, because what I'm grinding for is bigger than me. And if you're grinding, and what you're grinding for is not bigger than you, then you need to grind harder, and you need to take the focus off of you. Having said all of that, thank you so much tonight for you all tuning in. And I want to talk to you really about belief. And there are a lot of people that hold so firm to belief. But I like to flip the script. And there are certain beliefs that you need to let go of. And I want to share with you some beliefs that you need to let go of. And I believe in being transparent. I believe in getting you to think. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I'm in a good place right now, but I love my father. I know my father's proud of me, and I'm just going to continue to make him proud. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm happy about it. But rest assured, the energy is about to get back up. So let's dive in. Here's what I know. Everyone tells a story about themselves inside of their own head. Every day, all the time. You are telling yourself a story right now. And this story is simply a collection of beliefs that ultimately makes you what you are. It lays the foundation for every action you take or don't take in life. In essence, you build yourself out of this story, one day at a time, one step at a time. For a while, everything aligns just fine. Or so it seems. And life is good. But then at some point, perhaps, in your 30s like me, maybe in your 40s and your 50s, you get slapped with a harsh reality that doesn't even slightly align with the story that you've been telling yourself and the story that has been told to you all your life. And it hurts. And as you struggle to cope with the pain that you're feeling, you are slapped again and again with similar realities. And it goes like this until you realize that the story you've been telling yourself and holding on to all of these years is the primary source of your pain, because the beliefs that support the story are utterly and hopelessly false. It isn't easy, but ladies and gentlemen, you have to accept it. You have to seriously sit down with yourself and come to grips with the reality that you were wrong about it all along. What you believed to be true was just an illusion, built on false beliefs, a story that never really was what you thought it was. This is your awakening. Although it hurts in the beginning, it's a beautiful thing in the long run. And as time passes by, awareness gradually becomes the new foundation of your journey. Your story gets rewritten with powerful truths. My story has gotten rewritten with powerful truths. And you learn to let go of countless false beliefs. Having said all that, in the time allotted, I'm going to share with you some of those false beliefs that you learn to let go of. First of all, you let go of the belief that waiting until tomorrow makes sense. Here's why I say this. We know that deep down that life is short. My father died. He didn't even reach the age of 65. and he died suddenly. We know deep down that life is short and that death will come to all of us eventually. And yet we are infinitely surprised when it comes to someone we know. It's like walking up a flight of stairs with a distracted mind and then misjudging the final step. You expected there to be one more stair than there is. So you find yourself off balance before your mind shifts back to the present moment of how the world really is. Truth be told, someday there really won't be a tomorrow. And this harsh reality needs to be respected. Honestly, I feel like my biggest regret is how often I believed in tomorrow. And we need to learn that while the past is history, tomorrow is a mystery. Tomorrow is not promised. So you have to be in the moment. You have to be in the present moment and be in it and embrace it. And don't get caught up in how you think it should be, and just embrace the moment as it is. Another thing, another false belief that we need to let go of, and this is a doozy, the belief that everyone else knows what's best for you. You got to let go of that. Give yourself the space to listen to your own voice. I said it earlier on my Facebook page. I know now that my voice matters. And I'm telling you the same thing. Your voice matters. You have to listen to your own voice. You have to listen to your own soul. Too many people listen to the noise of the world and get lost in the crowd. But you can choose differently. Don't watch too much TV. Don't read every fashion blog. Don't get so consumed with, the news from the mass media. Find the strength to fill your time with meaningful moments and experiences. The space and time you are occupying at this very moment in life. And if you're worrying about, the Kardashians or LeBron James or some other famous face, then you are disempowered. You're giving your life away to marketing and to media hocus pocus, which is created by big companies to ultimately motivate you to want to look a certain way and be a certain way. And this is absolutely tragic. This kind of thinking. It's all just a distraction from what is real and from what is good. What is real and good is you and your friends and your family, your loves, your highs, your hopes, and your dreams. You know this already. Listen to what your heart is telling you. Eventually, one way or another, you will. Because there will inevitably come a day when you finally become wise enough and strong enough to do so. Another belief, and I hope that you all are getting value from this. Another belief that you have to let go of is the belief that all instant notifications and distractions are worth it. Here's why. Because distractions are in the palm of our hands these days, and we need to remember to look up more often. Don't avoid eye contact. Don't hide behind gadgets. Don't, learn how to smile and smile often. It took me a long time to learn how to smile. I'm gonna be honest with you. It took me a long time because I felt like I didn't have a lot to smile about. But I learned just over the last 4 years the importance of a smile. Ask about people's stories. Listen. You can't connect with anyone, including yourself, unless you are undistracted and present. Be in the moment. And you can't be either of the two when you're Facebooking, Instagramming, or Snapchatting your life away on your smartphone. You just cannot. And if you're constantly attached to your smartphone and only listening with your ears as your eyes check for the next social media update or the next social update, you're ripping yourself off of actually experiencing real relationships and real life. And the same is true for texting too. Yes, someday you will be slapped with the reality of a missed memory being far more unsettling than a missed text message. Hope you all caught that. Another false belief that you have to let go of is the belief that knowledge alone is enough. Learning by itself is great in the short term, but it doesn't cut it in the long run. If you plan on making positive changes in your life, it's one thing to know all 12 steps necessary to recover from alcoholism, for example. But it's another thing entirely to dedicate yourself to actually carrying out one of those steps. Because the truth of the matter is that the acquisition of knowledge doesn't mean you're growing. Because growing happens when you know, when what you know changes how you live. At some point, we all learn this lesson. Oftentimes, we learn the hard way by realizing that we haven't made any real progress. But then we take action. We learn the importance of taking action because that's how real progress happens and everything changes for the better. Another false belief that we have to learn to let go of is the belief that comfort is the end goal. A very popular and harmful addiction in this world is the draw of comfort. Don't be someone who never asks how or never pulls back further to ask why. Too many young people don't ask these questions because they know the answers would require substantial disruption of their comfort zone, to their comfort zone. And they don't want to endure it. They don't want to go through the process. But that's how the human mind grows. And eventually we all learn this one way or another. When our minds are stretched with new questions and resulting experiences, they never shrink back to their previous dimensions. We are forever more competent and capable. Truth be told, emotional discomfort in life, when accepted, rises, crests, and crashes in a series of waves. And each wave washes an old layer of us away and deposits treasures we never expected to find. Out goes, look at it like this, out goes inexperience, and in comes awareness. Out goes frustration, in comes resilience. Out goes hatred, in comes kindness, and so on and so forth. Another false belief. I'm going to give you 3 more and then I'm done. Another false belief for all those self-centered folks that, just know that they got it going on or think they got it going on. You have to let go of the false belief that you are at the center of the universe. Okay, say amen, say ouch. When we're young, we all have the tendency to place ourselves at the center of everything and see every outcome from the viewpoint of how it affects us personally. But as we grow up and as we broaden our horizons, we begin to see that our self-centered thinking has lots of baggage that comes along with it, from feeling sorry for ourselves when things are going exactly as expected. I'm a living witness to it. To doubting ourselves when we fail to be perfect. I'm living proof of that. And we realize that shifting our focus onto others for a while can help. It's one of life's greatest paradoxes. When we serve others, we end up benefiting from it as much, if not more, than those we serve. So whenever you feel stuck, try to shift your focus from your circumstances to the circumstances of those around you. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Ask, how can I help you? Find someone who could use an extra hand and make a small, reasonable offer that they cannot refuse. And the perspective you gain will guide you forward. We call that paying it forward. I had a chance recently to pay it forward to an individual who I know has a desire to be a life coach. And they have a desire to speak. And so I was afforded an opportunity to bring a guest to a training that I will be participating in the month of April. Now, I could have asked anybody, but because I remembered that their goal is to speak life into others and to be a life coach, because this opportunity was afforded to me, I was in a position to be a blessing to someone else, to have them get access to this information, to help them get further along in their journey to get closer to where they want to be. And by doing that, because I didn't have to do that, by doing that, it's going to come back to me tenfold, hundredfold. It's not going to come back. It doesn't necessarily have to come back monetarily, but it's going to come back in more harvest than one. Because I made a decision. And because I didn't keep it to myself. No man is an island. No woman is an island. And we can go much further along on this journey when we have the ability to genuinely collaborate with those that truly want to see us successful. Not someone or not some people who just want to ride our coattails to get the overflow. Two more and then I'm done. Another false belief that we must learn to let go of is that you can save certain overdramatic people from themselves. You will gradually learn that you simply can't save people from themselves. So don't get sucked too deep into their drama today. Those who make perpetual chaos in their lives won't appreciate you interfering with the commotion they've created anyway. They want your poor baby sympathy, but they don't want to change. They don't want their lives fixed by you. They don't want their problems solved, their emotional addictions and distractions taken away. They don't want their stories resolved or their messes cleaned up. Because what would they have left? They don't know, and they aren't ready to know yet. And it's not your job to tell them. And finally, the last false belief that I'll leave you with tonight that we need to learn to let go of is the belief that failure is the end of the world. You want to know the difference between a master and a beginner? The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. I'm going to say it again. You want to know the difference between the master and the beginner? The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Behind every great invention, behind every great idea, behind every great creation or work of art is 100 failed attempts to make it. But these attempts are simply never shown to us. And the truth is, you may not succeed in the exact way you hoped you would, within the exact time frame you hoped you would. But you will learn and grow from your experiences and your failures, and you will be better off in the end. You will learn ultimately that there is no exact path in life that you have to stay on to get what you want. What you want will come with noticing the progress you've made and understanding that every lesson is a step forward. And realistically, we often have not because we ask not. And I'm going to leave you with something that happened to me this weekend that is living proof that sometimes we have not because we ask not. For those that don't know, and I've been very outspoken about this, I have 3 mentors. Eric Thomas, most people know him as E.T. the hip hop preacher, Les Brown, and Trent Shelton. Those are my 3 mentors. Those are the 3 individuals that have impacted me when it comes to me speaking more than anybody else. I had the honor of meeting the one mentor this past weekend that I had not met, and that was Les Brown. I literally had a chance to meet this man. How he connects to me, I told you all that my father passed away last year on February 17th. The significance of that day, and if you don't believe me, you can Google it. My mentor, Les Brown, was born on February 17th. I witnessed a young lady at this event where I met him at, wanted to meet him like I wanted to meet him. And we had an opportunity to ask him a question. And he poured into us for over an hour. She asked 2 questions. She had never met Les Brown. Les Brown had never met her. She asked him, will you be my mentor? And she asked, will you write the foreword to the book that I'm writing? Do you know what Les Brown's response was? With a smile on his face, he said, yes, I will be your mentor. And yes, I will write the foreword to your book. I hope y'all caught that. This man who is universally recognized as one of the top motivational speakers ever. He's top 3 in my book instantly, without question. Decided to bless this young lady. Made her dream come true. Made her dream a reality. Because she made a decision. And the point of me sharing that is that we often have not because we ask not. Everybody is not out to hurt you. So just because somebody has hurt you in the past, you can't continue to live with the belief that everybody else is out to get you, that everybody is out to hurt you. There are actually people that want to see you succeed. There are actually people that want to see you successful. There are actually people that want to see you win. The question is, are you going to stay in the game and stay the course? And don't let a setback derail you. Because your setbacks set up for even greater comebacks. As I think about what has happened since my father passed in February of last year, and how my life has changed dramatically. And then as you know, now today is what would have been his 66th birthday. I think about the fact that everything that happened to me that was meant to kill me, I didn't allow it to derail me. And because of that, because I decided to get back in the game, because I decided that I'm not going to let it kill me, there is no place to go but up. The great Les Brown, my mentor, who I met Saturday, lives by this principle. If you get knocked down, make sure you get knocked down on your back. Make sure you land on your back. Because if you can look up, you sure enough can get up. My question to you all, as I wrap this up, when are you going to choose to get up? Even if you have to get up, you deserve to get up. Your family is waiting on you to get up. Your family needs you. There's someone waiting to hear from you. There's someone waiting to hear your story. Because there are people that you can impact that I cannot impact. There are people that I can impact that you cannot impact. But it starts with you making a decision to not settle and not stay in a place because life may have knocked you down. It's one thing to get knocked down. It's another thing to stay down. And if you're connected to me, you're not allowed to stay down. I'm not having it. So I challenge you. Greatness is within you. When I met Les Brown, I told him that it was an honor to finally meet him. His response to me was, I'm honored to be standing next to greatness. So when I tell you that it's about to go down, it's about to go down. Because to hear someone that I admire, that I respect, tell me that he's standing next to greatness and that he sees greatness in me, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. With that being said, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much to everybody taking time out of your schedule to dial in, to hop on to this week's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. I trust that I've given you something valuable, something substantial, something to think about. What beliefs do you need to let go of? Because your beliefs have you where you are right now. And if you're not satisfied where you are, you got to look in the mirror and take self-examination. You have to. In life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. It's yours truly, Arian, Tyson, the Moving Motivator. Thank you again for tuning in to this week's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. I will be back to next Tuesday, same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye for now. God bless.